Welcome back to your Thursday morning. Don Chubay going for a morning run.
Exactly. And we're here running with Nick and Rose. And Nick, Rose is visually impaired. We're going to stop right now for a second because otherwise we'll end up walking right past our camera operator here. That didn't work out very well for timing now, did it? It's all about cues, though. When you are coaching, Rose, good morning to you. When you're coaching Rose, because Rose actually has a visual impairment.
Yeah, so basically just I'm here to facilitate her day. So anything just to make it possible. So any kind of verbal cues, anything that I'm seeing, giving as much notice as possible as we're approaching any kind of, whether it's change in terrain or turning left or any kind of obstacles. I'll just give those cues and you know, we keep carrying on running as normal. It's just what I'm seeing. I sort of verbalize that as well.
Right. So, I mean, obviously here in English Bay, we have everything from beach to something that would be more like trail running to even more of a terrain that would be something that's a bit flatter. And Rose, sorry to come up on your side here. Maybe give people an idea of the extent of your visual impairment.
What I have is Usher syndrome, and it's a combination of a severe hearing loss and retinitis pigmentosa. And I have 10 degrees of vision left. And so my peripheral is all very dark, and I have a good central vision of 10 degrees.
But nothing is stopping you. You run marathons. You ran in the Boston Marathon. How is it possible for somebody that clearly has, you know, hundreds of people potentially coming up at your side where you have no peripheral, where you might have hazards on the ground, perhaps even like a big divot in the ground? It's possible with people like Nick, right?
Oh, absolutely. That's what makes it possible, having guides, special people like Nick. The guides are the ones that allow us to be athletes.
I don't even know, like, if anyone out there is considering either becoming a guide, or maybe there's someone who goes, man, I want to keep running, but you know, maybe there's been something that's happened with their vision and they thought that they couldn't do it. How do people get involved in something like that, Nick?
Rose would actually be able to speak more to this.
Okay.
There is a Facebook page called Running Eyes to pair up visually impaired runners and guides. All you have to do is look up that website and ask to join. And it's a wealth of information. We have many members, over 800 members, and they're from Canada, US, and Europe, so it's international. No
limits. And by the way, if they look familiar, Thor, of course, they were featured on a Sport Check ad, because it's all about who are you sweating for? And you know what? We're going to get our sweat on. Can we go for a little run? I'm going to get on the other side here.
Yeah.
For more details, check out their website. Let's go.
All right. We're going to move to the right. It's a bit of a gutter. And there's a dip in 5.
Well, good morning.
Right, I'm going to pull up here.
Good morning. You're watching Breakfast Television. Rose, good morning to you. Nick, good morning to you. I'm coming off on your right, on your left here, Rose. Off for a little run in English Bay. What people might not realize is that you actually have a visual impairment. And what were we just hearing Nick do?
Nick was giving me cues of dips and to turn left or to turn right to avoid any obstacles, so I don't trip and fall. Right,
which is very important, because if you can't see you know, potential problems on the terrain, it could be potentially dangerous. What people might also be inspired to know is that you have always been active, but you've actually run marathons as well using this technique.
Yes. I started this technique with my partner Chris, and our first tethered experience was in Boston, of all places. Excellent.
So it's a potential for people to know out there that there are no limits. So Rose, I'm wondering, I trip at the best of times, and I have no visual impairment. I'm hoping that blindfolded, do you think Nick's going to be able to help me out here?
He's fully capable. Just make sure you lift up your feet a little higher.
You didn't tell me I had to lift up my feet. Okay, Rose, I'm going to get you to step off to the side here, and I've got my blindfold ready to go, Nick. So, and I know Rose has limits with her visuals, but she can still see forward to a certain extent. I'm going to go completely blindfolded.
All right.
So for anyone that is completely blind, they can do this.
Absolutely, they can. Anyone can give it a shot. That's the benefit of, you know, what we're doing here, and the sort of something that we're sort of educating about as well.
So what do you have here in your hand?
So this is what we call our tether.
Okay.
This one is basically just a little bit of a resistance band that we picked up from Sport Check. So we basically it's just going to be used as a visual cue if you feel me pulling on it.
Okay.
When we're around like really tight areas. Say at the start of the race or something like that, we'll pull it in right and tight. And so we'll just sort of push or pull. Yeah.
Okay, push or pull. And this is kind of scary, actually, not being able to see it all, because I don't know if there's people around me or if there's going to trip.
So let's take a little trundle here, and you got a little gap coming up, so pick up your feet. There you go. And there's a little bit of a rough surface. So basically I'll just give you visual cues as we go. Anything that I'm seeing, I'll say as well. So if we'll move to the right a little bit.
Move to the right?
Yep. How's that feeling?
Oh my gosh. Well, I have to say that I still feel a little tentative, but I've never imagined that I could run in complete darkness. For more details on how, I guess there's a Facebook page, more details, we'll try to link up to our Facebook page. I can't do everything, I gotta talk and everything.
We can turn around here, camera's over this way.
All right, we're gonna take a little break here on Breakfast Television. 7:55 right now. How will the weather be for a run? Well, I can't see it, but I'm hearing it's gonna be good,
yeah.
so let's keep going.
Go again? All right, keep it on straight, you're doing good. Got a little rock ahead of you to pick up your feet.
Well, it's a beautiful morning here in English Bay, and what a great day for a run. We've got Nick and Rose. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us today. You know, we've been hearing this morning a little bit about how the two of you started working together, and many people actually might recognize you from the Sport Check ad, which basically lets people know there are no limits to what they want to do. And Rose, you are an athlete, marathon runner. You're also visually impaired.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what it means for you to be able to inspire people out there.
It's really, it means a lot to me to inspire people, because I want to show people that it is possible to do whatever your goals are, your challenges are, and not let that be an obstacle, your disability. And everything, we're an adaptable race, so we can definitely adapt, and this is what we sweat for.
And you know, you have always been an athlete, and so even having the ability, someone like Nick, to coach you through your running, obviously being to some extent your eyes, you also take on other challenges too.
Yes, I also done a couple sprint triathlons. I cycle, I kayak, do a little bit of indoor rock climbing, and I'm looking for new challenges. Maybe, who knows?
Nothing's going to stop you.
No, nothing's going to stop me.
Nick, how did you even getting into coaching, being literally a visual coach for someone like Rose?
I had a friend who was actually involved in it down in the States, then went to Australia. I was doing practice swim before an Ironman and jumped in the water, and there was a para-athlete who was actually getting in and out of the water and needed a bit of assistance. And the feeling that I got from that, being able to facilitate someone else's day, was absolutely irreplaceable. So then I came back, when I moved back to Vancouver, I sent a couple of emails out, sent some feelers out, and got in contact with the organizer of the BMO Marathon here in Vancouver. At the time they didn't have anything, and they took down my details, and then a couple of months later I was signed up to run myself, and then got a call from the event organizers introducing me to Rose basically, and we ran our first race of the BMO Marathon, and
incredible.
And here we are.
Incredible. Now, Rose, for anyone out there that is looking for a coach, whether you're an elite athlete like you or someone who's just learning to run, there is a page on your site that people can go to, right?
Yes. On my website, there is a link to go to Facebook, and that is called Running Eyes, to pair up visually impaired runners and guides together.
Fantastic. Such great information, and again, well done on the Sport Check ad. Definitely an inspiration. For more details, you can of course check out Rose's page on perhaps getting matched with the coach. What do you think? It's a beautiful day. Should we go for a run?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Climbing up on South Street.